I've got 36 years of carving time in, and I've been quarrying. I've been on these quarries for over 40 years.
Travis Erickson is carving a peace pipe in the shape of a wolf.
One of the biggest things about carving wolves is you gotta make it look like a wolf and not just a German shepherd of any kind.
The Sisseton Wahpeton Dakota tribal member works his craft and shares his story in the visitor center of the Pipestone National Monument.
We're a small park, but we have a huge history here.
The pipe has been a center of Native American spiritual beliefs since prehistoric time, and this was the place where the red stone was found to make them. 19th century artist George Catlin painted the tribes coming to what is now southwest Minnesota to mine the coveted material, which whites later called Catlinite.
The stone is easy to work. It's got a very nice color to it.
In the old days, this was neutral ground where warring tribes laid down their weapons to mine the red stone. Archaeologists have found Minnesota pipestone from Georgia to the Pacific Ocean and as far south as Mexico. And when the Indians were conquered, they did manage to retain the right to work their quarries for their sacred stone. I'm standing in the exhibit quarry outside the visitor center, one of the places where Native Americans have been mining the stone used to make peace pipes for thousands of years. And that tradition goes on here today. There are more than 50 active quarries at this site with a waiting list of some 80 Native Americans. Monument Superintendent Glenn Livermont issues the permits.
In the legislation that created the place and gives them the right to quarry, that it's an individual right. So all of the quarries are issued to individuals, not to tribes. And as a part of the permitting process, we do allow those individuals to add on extra names for help in quarrying.
I was old enough to remember watching my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my mother was a carver and the uncles were a carver, so I got to see the first 3 generations carve and quarry here.
Pipes carved from the stone range from the relatively simple to magnificent works of art and can be purchased in the visitor center. But it's important to remember their cultural and spiritual significance to Native Americans throughout the generations.
I do think about the past, but what I think about in the past is what was their philosophy? What was their spiritual truth?
The monument's 300 acres also preserves a remnant of America's tall grass prairie that once covered the Great Plains.
Prairie grasses and the wildflowers and the rolling hills, and it just takes me right back to all my summers as a kid.
The beautiful landscape belies the back-breaking work to unearth the stone beneath the prairie. No power tools are allowed. But for Travis, quarrying and carving has always been time well spent.
There's just something powerful about coming down here, being attached to the land, if you will.
That's it for now. We're back next time with more cool stuff from today's Wild West. I'm Mark Bedore. We'll see you down the trail. For more information on the people and places featured in today's Wild West, or to order show DVDs and books, visit todayswildwest.com.